Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this session, for this webinar. And today we're going to look at the topic of 145 components. Okay. So, could I just ask you all just to please mute your microphones and turn off your video feeds just to help with sort of the bandwidth so we don't get any sort of delays. And also, if you have any questions at any point, just use the chat function within Teams. I've got my colleague Andy who will hopefully be keeping an eye on that and hopefully answer any of your questions. So the aim of today's session is to look at one of the MRO modules and how that supports the management tracking of component maintenance within Aerotrac. And specifically, we're going to look at this new non-bonded GRM process that we've got. We're going to take a quick look at component logs, what they can control and hold in the information and how they link together. And we're going to look at some component rework and sub-projects based off a bill of materials for a project for an item a component that's been brought into Aerotrac. Okay, if we're all good, I'll crack on with the demo. So hopefully you can all see my screen. So I've got Aerotrac up and running, the main application. A few assumptions we're going to make for today's session, that all your part masters are already set up and correct, and for any components that need to be done in-house or reworked in-house, they've all been set up correctly to allow that in-house rework, and that all the capabilities are set up correctly as well. We're also assuming that you've got a BOM set up, so we'll just have a quick look at the BOM that we've created. So for this particular part, we've got a basic BOM here that has individual components on, but then also has a sub-assembly with its own sub-assembly components as well. So here we've got an assembly with its subcomponents, and then for the top level, we've also got the individual components linked to that as well. So we go back to the main application. Something we need to look at first is for this non-bonded process for receiving parts. In the administrator module, we want to head over to administrative setup, company setup, and over to this system options here. And then what we're going to do is just do a quick search for serial number. And here we've got this option here, project serial number selection from stock. So what this does is when you raise a project and the part is serialized and you want to track it and you've done the GRM process, you've got to select that serial number from stock, and it will force you to have to select that during the project setup stage. So we've enabled that option here, and so when we come to that point in building the project, I'll show you how that looks as well. And what we also want to do as well is if we go into materials and material setup, and we've got these locations here. We've got the normal standard locations, but on this drop down here, we've got something that's called non-bonded locations here. And this is where you can set up the non-bonded locations for items that you are receiving into the facility that don't need to go into the bonded stores. So you're going to be performing work on these. And I've just created this holding area, this holding location that the item will be received to when it comes in through the GRM process and batching process. Okay. So we can head back over to the main Aerotrac application. And what we're going to quickly do is just run through that non-bonded receipt of an item. So like when you receive any other item, if you go into materials, stock movements, GRN generation, and then we're going to add a new GRN. Okay. As always, it's going to be an MRO receipt because it's a part that's coming in for repair. We're going to select our customer. We can add any of the details that you need to, but just for the ease of this session, we're just going to directly add the item. And we've got a part called Joe 090424, a tail rudder. Okay. We need to add the serial number, so I'm just going to add in the serial number for that. And we can then save Okay. Then we can, what will now happen is we can now then do this batch generation. So before you just had a GRN MRO receipt, but now because we've had that non-bonded process activated, we can go through and do this batch generation. And it pulls through the information. And here, where the location is, here we've got a list of those non-bonded locations. Here, condition non-bonded, and we're just going to select that location. Release type, obviously, it's not coming with anything, so we're just going to select NA, and then we can save that. Okay, you've not updated all life details, you wish to continue. So obviously, because the system knows that this is a life limited part, it's just letting us know that we need to set these up. So what we can do is, if we want to at this point, go to serial numbers and life details, and here we go, we can see what these are. So we can enter whatever numbers we want here. If we've got the log cards, and then we can save those. And that's now batched that item into stock. Okay. So now we've got that part actually in the system. The system sort of recognizes that we've received that. We can now have a quick look at the component log. Okay. So component log basically looks at any part number, serial number combination and tracks the life of that component. So when it was last received, what it's gone through in your shop, and any information like that. So if we've already got a component log set up, if we have a look for the for that part number, if we use the search function, we can look at. So here we can see, obviously, we've already got two of these in the system. However, it's not the one that we've just received in. So if we want to add a new one to track its live details, all we need to do is click on Add, and then type in that serial number that we received today. And as you can see, here we go, we've got it there, because we know it's been batched in, and we've got the batch number there. We just select that, and it's pulled through. And as you can see, actually, what it's done as well is it's pulled in the information from that batch details as well. Okay. But what it also does is, from the BOM that we created earlier, any items that were identified as life limited as well on there, it's automatically pulled all those components in into the component log, because it knows that these are also life limited parts as well. Okay. So what we need to do now is obviously confirm and ensure that we've got all the life details for all of these items set up as well. So if we've got the log cards and we know what they all are, we can basically just add in all the details here and set all these up as required. Okay. I'm just doing this for being quick and easy. One thing I did forget is, obviously, what we should probably do is put a date in. So I'm just going to add some dates in here as well. As you can see, once you've got all the details you need to, you've got a state and it changes green. So that's what you're looking for, that you've got all your information entered correctly as per the log cards. Obviously, these would be the exact ones that you'd put on the log cards that you've received. Okay. And then we can save. Okay. Okay, this is just a warning, because obviously we've got the quality management module turned on for this database, so any changes that we make to anything it asks us, we're just going to click no, because we don't really need that. Okay. Okay. What this also will do as well is also pull in any publications that we've got. Now, there is a publication we have linked, but nothing's being pulled through, because what you can do is on the publications is you can make them part number and product group specific, but also aircraft product group specific as well. So this particular publication that we want to pull through will allow us to pull that publication, because it's only specific for this component when it's on this product aircraft product group as well. Okay. What we also want to do as well is complete the components to confirm that we need to confirm everything. Also, it says please ensure that the serial numbers are first. So we obviously missed the serial numbers that we've got on there, so we're just going to add those on as well for each of these components. So the system will stop you from doing anything if it's not got all the information it requires. We'll just add all those. These all require a serial number. Okay. And then we can confirm, do we want to, yeah. So please send component log to import associated task cards. Okay. So we've confirmed all the components. Click on save. We don't want to do a change history. And here you can see there are new publications available because we've set it up. Do we wish to import them? Yes. So any publications that you've set up, they'll be now brought through. And here we can see that this service bulletin has been brought through because it's applicable to that part number, product group, and aircraft and product group combination as well. Okay. Okay. So now, once we've confirmed that everything is up to date, we've entered all the correct information, all the life details, everything's poured through. And what we want to do is confirm the effectivity. So we click confirm. Do we wish to confirm? Yes. Save. And here we go. We've confirmed that. So for that serial number, part number, serial number confirmation, we've confirmed the logbook entries for that, and that is now stored within Aerotrac. And any projects that we do going forward, when we update and reset any of the life details or the overhaul details or anything like that, will now be linked and logged to that component log specifically. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just come straight out of that now, and what we want to do now is raise a project for that item which has come through into the system. Okay, so all we need to do is go to the MRO, project details, and workshop projects. Okay, now if we click on new project, we can add a new workshop project for a customer. Click OK. We've got the contract modules turned on, so it's asking for a contract, but we're just going to select another customer. And then the part number that we're looking at is that Joe part number that we created. We've got work scope details. It's come in for a repair. Okay. Customer details is as a repair order. It's coming under a repair order. And when does the customer need it by? They want it at the end of June. Release type, and here, so before, when I was talking about the GRN generation, the batch generation, we've now got a drop down here for the serial number, and here you can see if we click on that, it's giving us the option that we have to select that serial number from that non-bonded location. So that's from here, and as you can see, once I've selected that, it's automatically confirmed that we've received this unit, and it's showing us that GRN that it arrived under as well. Okay. So if we also wanted to, at the bottom right, you can also enter any information from which aircraft it was removed from, if you know those if you know that information. And this is going to go to the engineering department as well. And also, when we selected that serial number, you can see the location. It's in that holding location as well. So all we need to do now is save that. And there we go. We've got a project that has been saved. So if we look at the work scope details, so this is now sort of the technical side of things, where so the engineers will get the project ready to be released into the workshop to go into work. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to edit this work scope, and we need to select the work scope details. This is coming in for a repair. The details, so it's the details of the component have been found in the component log. So as we've already set up the component log, it's gone, okay, we've found that, and it's automatically pulling those information through, and it's just asking you to just review and make sure that they are correct. So here you go, we can see the life details have been pulled through. Okay. I'm just going to change that repair actually, because we have a specific one for lightning repair. This is just because we've already set up a route master and everything for this specific repair combination. Again, for this session, we've assumed that this has all been set up in advance. So we've selected that, and now we want to add the route. We should confirm the life details prior to raising a route. Do you wish to continue? So yes, we're all happy with those details. And we're just going to use the standard route master for this repair scheme combination that we've selected. So we just need to click on standard route master, click OK, and you can see it's pulled through all these tasks that we need to do for this particular repair, and it's here. Because we also set up the BOM as well, and also those live components in the component log, you can see here the live components of this top level have been brought through. And you can see that it's also brought through all the information from that component log. Okay. Parts embodied, so again, from the BOM, it's pulled all the parts that need to come through and that we need to sort of look at and inspect. And then also BOM subprojects. So we've got this frame here. Obviously, it's a lower level assembly with its own components. And again, that's all been brought through into this project based on the BOM setup and we did earlier. So now we've got all that, we can save. And that's now all good to go. So if we're all happy with all the information we've entered, and we now want to release this part to the shop floor so that we can get it into work. So what we need to do is click Release to Workshop. Please note you should confirm the life details prior releasing to project. Again, it just keeps reminding you just to make sure that you have set your life details again to keep those up to date. We want to continue with yes. The project was released to the workshop and it's created the inspection reports for the inspection workbench and also material review. Okay. What we also want to do now as well is, because that part was in stock technically from the GRN, the top level, what we're going to do is actually pick this part of the project. So we want to click this button here that says pick project part. What this automatically does is create a picking list for that item for the top level from the non-bonded location from that batch number. So we're just going to save that, yes, and that's confirmed. And then if we want to, we can print any batch labels or anything like that, and we can confirm that part has been delivered to the project. And if we go across to the marshalling tab, we can see here that that part which has been required has been picked. So what now can happen is, obviously this part has now gone into work, and we need to now have a look. The engineers now need to start sort of carrying out some work and looking at the job itself. So we can go over to the inspection workbench for this job. And if we go across these tabs, we've got the workshop instructions. So any workshop instructions that are linked, we can have a look at those and we can update those. We've got the routes, scheduled or unscheduled tasks that we can do, inspections required. So this is obviously, again, being pulled in from the BOM, and these are all the parts that need to be inspected, or we need to tell the system what we're going to do with these. Okay. So just for the ease of this webinar, what I have done is already created and started a project for the same part where I've already updated and confirmed some of these parts as well. Okay, so obviously we've gone through these and we've put ones that are going to be refitted, but here we can see that there are 2 items that we've put through as requiring rework. Okay, so on the inspection workbench, when you go through to the edit and you select the item, this is where you can set whether they need to be refitted or reworked or anything like that. And then also it gives you the information of what those sub-projects are. Okay. What I'll do actually is, if we go back to the one we just created, I'll just show you how that works. So here we go, we can look at this part here. If we go on to edit, we can say this part needs to be reworked, one requires rework. And then if we save that, if we then move on to this inspect rework tab, we can see, look, okay, so we've done the inspection, we've said that that item needs reworking, it's moved across to this inspect, this rework tab, okay? And this is then where we can then generate a new work project, okay? So we can just click on that. Do we wish to create a new component rework for this item? Yes. Component rework has been created, and then we can go and generate a new route and everything. What we're going to do is just cancel that again, because we've already done that in this previous project here. So here we go. We've got this component rework. So we have a look at this, and basically it's very similar to the projects. And this is on the top level. You've got all the parent details here of where it belongs to. But the brilliant thing about Aerotrac is what it allows you to do is also, you can even detach these sub-projects or component reworks from the parent. So if you need to remove that from the project for whatever reason, you can detach it. It then becomes its own job in itself, and it then isn't linked. And that can be useful potentially if you require the ability to move or sort of swap out any parts that may be required. If you've got a part that's got a long lead time or is taking longer to repair, but you've got one that's already in work and will be finished, you can then swap them out, and then you can just reattach them and link them to a parent project at any point. Okay. Again, you've got all the basics for your project statuses and things like that, where it's been removed from, all that kind of stuff. And if we look specifically at the work scope details for this project, for this component rework, we've got here the work scope. So again, it's got all the hours, it's brought all those through from what was generated before. And what we need to do is obviously generate a new route. All you need to do is generate a new route, and we're just going to just do a custom route, just for the ease. You can do this as, you can be as specific or as generic as you wish. We can add an operation. We're just going to do a final inspection here and add that. Time allotments, it's going to take us 2 hours to do that. And it's going to take 1 day. And then obviously if there's any specific work instructions that you want to link to that. We click on save, that's generated the route for us. And then the same process as before, obviously we need to now release this this project to the shop floor. One thing what I'd like to do is just sort of bring your attention to the status board. So if we just come to the status board here, on the scheduling tab, if we just refresh this, I'm just going to sort. So here we can see that there are some items here that haven't been released, and it gives you that sort of information where they're up to. If we go back to the workshop project for and have a look at the project status and go on back to the inspection workbench for that item as well. What we can do is, if for that item, we can have a look and show and hide details, and here you can see where it's, because it's not been released, we need to sort of release that. I'll just return to the one that we were working on before. So here we've got it's not been released, and that's the one we're going to do. So we can go back, view this one, back to it, go to the work scope details, release to the workshop. Yes, we do. And then we say it's raised that inspection report for the inspection workbench. Okay. So we can close this out now here, and now we can see it's updated and it's in work. So once we've got all that done and we go through and complete all the work, we need to sort of complete these jobs out now. So to tell the system that all these sub projects have been completed. So like normal, we can just go through and edit and update. The best way to do that is using the view update whip. We can do that, and we can update when they were actually completed. So they were completed today. Who's done it? Any actions that have been carried out for that. We can save. So that's been completed, and then we can complete that project. Okay. Do we wish to continue? So obviously it's saying we've not inspected it. So okay, so we need to just go and update that. So now we've completed that. Set the date it was completed. Save. And that project has been completed there. Okay. So what we need to do is just do that for the other items. If we go back here, we can see that that project's been completed. We've got another project here, which we can do. Look at the work scope details, view update the whip, complete the project. Yep. Yes, we're going to complete all those. Project's been completed, and then we can save that. And obviously we can set the release lives here as well. So we can set them time6 new is 0. So that will then all pass through. So every time we save any of this will then pass through into the component logs and update those component logs as well. Also, once we complete it as well, we can just generate a release certificate like we normally would. So you just click the release certificate button there as well. Okay, so those are the component reworks that we've done. If we go back to the project, the top level project that we had, we go back to the work scope details, and then obviously we've got this BOM here. So we've got this other lower level assembly. So we've got a sub project here. So you can either access that via this screen where we've got sub projects, or if you can, what you can also do is all sub projects are available from the sub project screen down here. So here we've got the sub project, just select it, and here it's got all the details. And again, very similar to the top level project makeup, you've got the project details and then the work scope details that are applicable to it. Again, we've got all these release life details that have been set. Obviously this has already been completed for another project, and all those details that are saved will get uploaded to the component log and allow you to save it. Yeah. So what we need to do is go to the rework projects that we set up. So obviously we need to just confirm these details. We can see these are, so again from the BOM, these are the parts that were from that sub-assembly, and what we need to do with those obviously is complete those and release again. So this project, sub-project, hasn't been released as it's showing here. We can see at the front. So we can release that to the workshop, and it's created again the inspection workbench for us, so that we can then deal with all those. So we just quickly run into that inspection workbench. See all these parts need inspecting. But for ease for this, what we're going to do, we're going to refit them, just because we're happy with the status of all of them. So we can save all that as well. And we've got the route here that we need to do. We can edit this. We can update that route item. We can say it's been actioned. Who's done everything. Save this. That's been completed. So that's all good there. View update WIP. So we're happy. Actual completion date. Complete the project completed. And we need to ensure the life details prior to completion. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Okay, we need to save or cancel. So here we can say, so timestamp overhaul, we can set that to 0. Because obviously we've now just reset that, and we can set the overhaul date as today. So that will reset everything for us. And then we can click on save. So put the save date, and those details will now get uploaded to the component log. If we actually click on component log, because we've not actually had this particular part number serial number before, however, what we will do is if we look at, if we just cancel that, and we look back at the one that we've raised, 2024-04-17 from yesterday. Oh, my mistake, I just selected the wrong one. So the components, and here we go, and we can see the details. Okay, they've not been updated because obviously the top level hasn't been completed yet. Okay, so if we had that part that was on its own component log, then that would have been fine. So we've completed this project here for this sub project, and now what we need to do is just go back to the main project, and we need to just receive all these parts to the top level to show that we've actually received everything, and so we can actually close out and complete the projects. So if we go along the marshalling tabs, so these two lower ones, they've been completed. So we can confirm that they've been delivered to the project. We can save that, yes. We need to enter a release number. Status is being prepared. And then we can confirm the receipt inspection, ensure receiver. Okay, and then confirm delivery. Yes. Okay, so we confirmed that this is delivered to the project. So this goes through what's called a receipt inspection, where someone would carry out an inspection on the part, and then it confirms delivery to the top level. And here you can see we've got a blue tab, which is what we're looking for as well. So we'll just quickly do that again for this project. It is repaired. Confirm the receipt inspection, we're happy with the part and its condition, confirm delivery, and that's confirmed and has now been delivered to the top level project. Obviously for this one, we've actually not, we're still waiting on this part here as well, so it's been allocated. So whereas before, the one we did previously, we've still got to update it, so we just need to click on pick the part. Got the details, we can save that, and that's all good. Confirm the delivery, yes, exit, and there we go, and it's been picked and it's directly there. Okay, so now we've got all that done, what we're going to do is just complete. So again, just for ease, we're just going to complete the project. Please enter the manufacturer overhaul dates for the following components. So obviously we've missed something. So here the system has flagged that up. So we need to just make sure that all these have been brought through. So here we've got the overhaul date today. I'm going to set this to 0. That should be all good. And then if we go back, complete the project. Project's not complete. Do you wish to complete all operations? Yes. Please ensure the live details are correct. Yes. Okay, you can now change. Okay, so times it's new, dates it's overhauled, it's today for this top level. Now we can save that. And again, we can now then generate the release certificate, and we've got the component log. And here you can see that obviously the time since overhaul has been updated. It's been reworked on that work order, and the dates of the last overhauls have been set here. Okay, and so that's now basically updated that component log for that part number, serial number combination. Okay. So that's just a quick look at sort of the complexity that you can go through and the level of granularity you can do with component projects, sub-projects, component reworks, and also the component log to be able to track and trace all the parts and the components and also subcomponents and how they can all be linked together. If you've got the system set up in advance, it does make life a lot easier. However, the system does allow you to kind of add these things on the fly as and when you require them as well. What we're also going to do is probably in the future as well, we've got something that's called the project builder. So in the administrator module under MRO, we've got this this module called project builder. And what this does is allows you to create a large number of projects or quickly in one go. And so that is something that we will look at in the future. So for instance, if you have got a ship set of seats that you need to work on, you don't want to be going through the process of raising each individual project for each part number. What you can do is just list all the parts that are in that ship set, click on generate, and it will generate all the work orders and the projects for you in one go. So that's something that we will look at in the future. I hope you have found this session useful and there was a lot of information there. Should you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to us. I'd like to thank you for attending this session. I don't think we've got any questions in the chat. So what I'll do is I'll bring this session to a close. Again, we'd like feedback, as much feedback as possible on these sessions. This helps us sort of to build future sessions. If there's anything specific or anything we've missed or anything we need to look at, so the formats, that kind of stuff, please feel free to just provide some feedback here, and any information you can give back to us is greatly appreciated. It's all anonymous as well, so don't worry if there's negatives, because we need to improve what we're doing moving forward. So again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a good day.